Hello guys, welcome back to the Med Concepts with Bhavya. This is Bhavya Sharma here and today we are going to continue with the hip bone anatomy. This video is going to be the part 2 video of the hip bone anatomy, and in this video we are going to study the features of the ilium bone. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. So we'll be studying the ilium features. Here in ilium, we would be studying the parts of the ilium, that is the upper part and the lower part. Then we would be studying about the surfaces of the ilium, the borders of the ilium, and then we would be studying about the fossas in the ilium. Okay, and if we have some crests or tubercles whatsoever. The very first thing that you need to know about the ilium is the ilium is the largest part of the hip bone. It is the upper part of the hip bone, and this is what your ilium looks like. Okay, now in ilium we would have two ends, that is, one is the upper end, that is this part, and then the lower end, that is this part. Okay, if you see here anteriorly you can see this, even posteriorly you can see this. So upper part, that is this one, and lower part, that is this one, where I am having my index finger of this hand and thumb finger of this hand. So the upper part is broad and larger, the lower part is smaller. So it is like this, right? It is like broad and then it is narrow. The lower part is near the acetabulum and the upper part is known as the iliac crest. Okay, so if you observe it here, this is the ilium part, right? This is the ilium, that is the iliac crest, the upper part or the upper end of the ilium, which is the iliac crest. Now we have talked about the two ends, that is the iliac crest, and then below we have the lower end, which is smaller and which is just above the acetabulum, right? It ends at the acetabulum. So this is about the ends of the ilium. Now the next thing that we would be observing is the borders and surfaces. The ilium consists of three borders and three surfaces. First, talking about the borders, we have the anterior border, the posterior border, and the medial border. If you want to have some rough note to write the notes, please have it. Also, there will be fair notes uploaded on the Insta page as well as Tele page. Now coming forward to the topic, we have three borders as I told you. Anterior border, which is this one. See, this is how it is placed. Okay, this is how it is going to be placed in our hip. This part, that is this part, can you see acetabulum here, which will have the femoral head and will form the hip joint. This will be anteriorly like this, a little laterally actually, so it will be placed like this. Okay, so this is how the bone is going to be placed. I told you the holding, right? So this is how the bone is going to be placed. Exactly, this is how my left hip bone would be right now in my body. Now are you able to understand? So what did I say? The first is anterior border. See, this is anteriorly, right? This is forward. So anterior border, this one. Then posteriorly, we have the posterior border. See, this is posteriorly, so posterior border, then anterior border. And this one, which comes medially, right? Your acetabulum is laterally, so this part is medially. So this is the medial border. Again, anterior border, posterior border. Do you see? Posterior border, and then the medial border over here. These are the three borders that we observe in the ilium. Next up, let's go and get into the details of the surfaces of ilium. So in the ilium, we have three surfaces as I already mentioned before. The three surfaces are the iliac surface or the iliacus fossa, the sacropelvic surface, and then we have the gluteus surface. Okay, again repeating, we have three surfaces: the iliac surface or iliacus fossa, the sacropelvic surface, and the gluteal surface. Now as we are done with the borders and the surfaces of ilium, let's talk about the upper end of the ilium that I already told is known as the iliac crest. So in the iliac crest, we have to talk about the divisions of the iliac crest, the lips of the iliac crest, and then we would be talking about how they are present in the ilium. Okay, so the first thing that you need to know about iliac crest is it is a convex ridge, right? So iliac crest, see again, This is the way the hip is present in my body, right? So now this is the iliac crest. Okay, in the iliac crest, this first thing that you need to know is, if somebody asks you what is an iliac crest, you have to tell them it is a convex ridge. That is, it is convex, right? Like this. See, it's exactly right this, like this, right? So convex ridge. And now we'll talk about the divisions. Morphologically, we have two divisions of the iliac crest. Two divisions, or you can call it two segments. Now again, placing it in anatomical position. If I place it in anatomical position, it will be much easier for you guys to understand. So now, what did I tell? This is anterior border, right? So what did I mean? This is the anterior part and this is the posterior part. So now we have two segments of the iliac crest. See, focus only on this part. Focus only on the iliac crest. So we have the ventral segment of iliac crest and then the posterior or dorsal segment of the iliac crest. Again, we have a long ventral or anterior segment and then we have a small posterior or dorsal segment. So these are the two segments that we study in the iliac crest. And then posterior segment, which is little rough. Okay, this is rough. See, this part, that is the posterior or dorsal segment, is rough. Ventral part is a little bit smoother than the dorsal part. So this is about the segments or division of the iliac crest. Now in the ventral segment, which is the ventral segment? This one, right? So in the ventral segment, we have three lips present in the ventral segment. I have already shaded them with the marker and now I'm going to explain you that. Okay, so we have the outer lip, that is this one. Can you see this? See, if you see posteriorly, it will be visible. The outer lip, I have marked it with a marker. Do you trace it? The outer lip, that is towards that side, right? Towards this side, where the acetabulum is present, that side. So we have the outer lip here. Then we have the middle lip, or we also call it as intermediate lip. Okay, and then we have the inner lip. So again, the ventral part of the iliac crest has three lips. The first one is the outer lip, right? The outer, see, can you see it now? The outer lip, the intermediate or middle lip, and the inner lip. We have these three lips in the iliac crest. Let's talk about the surfaces and borders of ilium in detail. First, let's go with the borders. So let me pick up the bone right here. And we have three borders, as I told you. The anterior border, the posterior border, and the medial border, right? So now let's talk about the anterior borders feature a little bit more in detail. In the anterior border, the two things that they are always going to ask you in vivas or in your practicals by shading that part is your spines, your iliac spines. So in anterior, you have two spines. The first one is anterior superior iliac spine and the second one is anterior inferior iliac spine. Let me help you name them. See, what did I say first? These are the two iliac spines which are present anteriorly. So first name they will have is anterior, right? And then one is superiorly present, one is inferiorly present. So now we would name them as anterior superior iliac spine, anterior inferior iliac spine. So that is all about the iliac border, that is the anterior iliac border. Okay. Now as simple as that, we would go for the posterior border and we will have two things over here, two spines, right? So same thing, let's name it again. Comment down in the comment section below if you have already guessed it. So posterior superior iliac spine, posterior inferior iliac spine. So we have four spines. In the anterior border, we have anterior superior iliac spine, anterior inferior iliac spine. Then in the posterior border, posterior superior iliac spine, posterior inferior iliac spine. So that is all about the anterior border and the posterior border. Now let's talk about the third border, that is the medial border. We have talked about the anterior border, we have talked about the posterior border. Now we are talking about the medial border. So first thing that you have to talk about the medial border is, for example, your teacher asks you, what is the extension of the medial border? What does that question mean is, from where is the medial border starting and from where it would be ending to where it would be ending. Okay, so it starts from the iliac crest. This is the iliac crest, right? So it starts from the iliac crest and ends at the iliopubic eminence. See this part over here, this part over here where the ilium and pubic have the fusion is known as the iliopubic eminence. Okay, so this round bulged out part is known as the iliopubic eminence. So the extension of the medial border is from the iliac crest to the iliopubic eminence. Can you see? Can you trace this with me? From here, see, don't see this line, okay? This is something else. From here till here, you have this very clearly in my bone, very clearly depicted in my bone naturally, right? So this is the medial border from the iliac crest till the iliopubic eminence. The another feature of the medial border is it separates the iliac fossa from the sacropelvic surface, or iliacus surface from the sacropelvic surface. So it is the separation border between these two surfaces. What are the two surfaces? These two, iliacus surface and sacropelvic surface. So that's it about the borders. Anterior border has two spines. Posterior border has two spines. Medial border extends from the iliacus crest and the iliopubic eminence, separates the two surfaces, that is the iliacus surface and the sacropelvic surface. So that is all about the borders. Let's go into the surfaces. Talking about the surfaces, we have three surfaces as I already mentioned. The iliacus surface, which is also known as iliacus fossa, the sacropelvic surface and the gluteal surface. Now first we are going to talk about the gluteal surface in detail. Okay, so now talking about the gluteal surface, this is the gluteal surface, right? In the gluteal surface, the gluteal surface is divided into three parts. Sorry, the gluteal surface is divided into four parts. One part, two part, three part, four part by three gluteal lines. That is one gluteal line, two gluteal line and three gluteal line. Now talking about the parts, we have four parts as I already mentioned: first, second, third and fourth. And now we would be talking about the three gluteal lines over here. So the first gluteal line is the posterior gluteal line, that is this one. Then we have the anterior gluteal line and then we have the inferior gluteal line. Let me hold it into the position so that it is more clear. See, this is how it is held, right? This is how the bone is held in anatomical position, right? Now we'll just tilt it backwards to see. This is the posterior gluteal line because it is coming posteriorly, right? So posterior gluteal line. Then we have anterior gluteal line because it is little bit anterior, and this is inferior gluteal line because it is present inferiorly. See, this side you have inferior gluteal line. Somewhere here you have the anterior gluteal line, and then here somewhere here we have the posterior gluteal line, right? I have just tilted the bone to show you the positions. So how the position is, the same way it is named. Now let's go back here. So posterior gluteal line, anterior gluteal line and inferior gluteal line. Now talking about each of the gluteal line, the posterior gluteal line is shortest of all the three. See, I have marked it with marker. It's very clear that it is the shortest, right? So it is the shortest gluteal line, that is the posterior gluteal line is the shortest gluteal line. Now we'll talk about its extension. It extends from the front of the posterior superior iliac spine. See, this is posterior superior iliac spine, right? So it begins from the front of the posterior superior iliac spine and ends at the upper part of the greater sciatic notch. See this part, this whole question mark like part, right? This is your greater sciatic notch. So it is ending at the upper part of the greater sciatic notch. Now we are talking about the anterior gluteal line. The anterior gluteal line is the longest gluteal line. This one was the shortest and this is the longest. Talking about its extension, it extends from 4 cm behind the ASIS, that is the anterior superior iliac spine. See here, you can see very clearly, this is the anterior superior iliac spine, somewhere about 4 centimeter, this much is 4 centimeter. Behind 4 centimeter, behind the anterior superior iliac spine, it begins and it ends at the middle part of the greater sciatic notch. So this is about the anterior gluteal line. Now we would talk about the inferior gluteal line, which is ill-defined. It's not very properly defined. See, I have marked it with a marker because I had to show you guys. But if you see very closely, it's a little indefined like this, right? Like this. So it is an ill-defined gluteal line. It begins above and behind the anterior inferior iliac spine. This is the anterior iliac spine, anterior inferior iliac spine. It starts above and behind the anterior inferior iliac spine and ends at the apex of the greater sciatic notch. That is all about the three gluteal lines. The posterior gluteal line is the shortest, the anterior gluteal line is the longest, and the inferior gluteal line is a little ill-defined. Now let us talk about the another surface, that is our iliac surface. We are done with the gluteal surface and we are left with two more surfaces. And first let's go through the iliac surface. Iliac surface is also known as what? Iliacus fossa, right? So iliac surface is also known as iliacus fossa and it is concave. Okay, see, like this. So it is like this. Can you see? It is like this, like my hand. So it is a concave surface. I'm holding it like this. If I hold it like this, you can see it's concave, right? So iliacus surface is concave and it is present in front of the medial border. This is the medial border. So iliac surface comes in front of the medial border. That is all about the iliac fossa. The first thing is it is a concave fossa and the another thing is it presents itself in front of the medial border. This is the medial border, so in front of the medial border. That is all about the iliacus fossa or iliac surface. Next up, we have the third and the last surface, which is the sacropelvic surface. This one, the sacropelvic surface. So the sacropelvic surface is present behind the medial border of ilium. So I told you this is the medial border of ilium. In front we have the iliacus surface and at the back we have the sacropelvic surface. It shows three features in the sacropelvic surface, which is the auricular surface. See this part, it's very easily available and clear in the bone. I have also traced it with a marker. This kidney bean like structure, this is the auricular surface, and this above part which is looking very dark in the video, very clearly it's looking dark. This, the darker and the roughened part, is known as the which one? Iliac tuberosity. So iliac tuberosity, auricular surface, and then we have a pelvic surface. So we have three surfaces, that is the sacropelvic surface is divided or subdivided into three portions: the auricular surface, the iliac tuberosity, and the pelvic surface. This is the auricular surface. This is the rough part, which is the iliac tuberosity, and then we have the pelvic surface. This is about the sacropelvic surface. Another thing that you see here would be the periauricular sulcus. If you go just like this and see the sciatic notch here, into the inner portion of the sciatic notch we have a sulcus which is known as the periauricular sulcus, periauricular. So between the sacropelvic surface and the sciatic notch, if we go a little inside like this part is known as the periauricular sulcus. So that is all about the sacropelvic surface. We have subdivisions called auricular surface, then we have iliacus tuberosity or iliac tuberosity, and then we have pelvic surface. Another thing that we saw is the periauricular sulcus, right? So periauricular sulcus. This is all about the sacropelvic surface. Now we have gone through all the three surfaces as well. this is all about today's video. In this video, we have covered the features of the ilium bone, that is the ilium part of the hip bone, and this is all that we are going to learn in this lecture. In the next lecture, we would be talking about the pubis part of the hip bone. We would be talking about the features of the pubis bone. And then in the next part, we would be talking about the ischium. When we are completed with the features of all the three parts of the hip bone, we would be going for the muscle attachment. So this time, rather than having 3 parts of hip bone video, or usually as we have 3 parts of a bone video, this time we are going to have 6 to 7 parts of the hip bone video, because this bone is a vast bone. It needs more clear understanding and it needs more depth learning. So we are going to go part by part for all the parts of the hip bone, and we are going to learn in detail so that we always remember it. Also, as always, the notes are already ready and would be uploaded on my Insta page as well as on my Tele page, the link to which would be given in the description below. Also, as always, give this video a thumbs up, share, support, and if you're new to this channel, do subscribe this channel. Thanks for watching. Until the next video, stay safe, stay home.